Whale talk. The diver was repairing an ocean pen for No-See, a beluga whale, when a call came to get out, out. He had heard the call before from his colleagues on the surface, so he stopped work and slowly made his way upwards, watched all the time by No-See. Pronounced No-See. "Why did you tell me to get out?" he asked the waiting biologist. He was met with quizzical looks. None of them had given this instruction. It was not the first time that a whale had sounded human at the Vancouver Aquarium in Canada. Keepers had suggested that a 1-year-old beluga had uttered his name, Legosi. Two biologists, William Cheville and Barbara Lawrence, were the first to study beluga whale sounds in the wild in the 1950s, wrote that occasionally the calls would suggest a crowd of children shouting in the distance. There was the case of a killer whale that had learned to imitate a motorboat. No one had studied whether these warblings were attempts to communicate with humans or just standard calls of whales that happened to sound remarkably human. A team at the National Marine Mammal Foundation decided to record the utterances coming from No-See. Last week, almost 30 years after they began their study, they published their findings. The recordings, which deviate wildly from the usual calls of beluga whales, clearly show that No-See was emulating human speech. The whale, which died 5 years ago after living at the foundation among the dolphins and other whales for 30 years, had developed a human voice and was trying to talk. All belugas, famed for the way in which their faces are able to convey human-like expressions, are extremely social. Belugas are among the most vocal of the whale family. They can emit an array of sounds, including cackles, moos, whistles, trills, and squawks. What is remarkable is the extraordinary effort No-See made. To reach a human sound frequency, No-See was having to inflate the sac in his blowhole and vary the pressure in his nasal tract at the same time as making other muscular adjustments. No mean feat. The guess was that No-See, who was always so playful, coming up to have his tongue rubbed and roll over onto his back, had realized that when the guy at the top shouts out, out, the diver in his pen responds. No-See tried to imitate that noise in the hope that he'd be able to communicate by doing so. It has been shown that whales can refer to objects in their vicinity, but the next level of research is to see whether they can talk about objects that are not present, such as invisible predators or food that is far away. They are among the loudest animals on Earth. The sound they make on one side of the Atlantic can be heard by whales on the other side. Scientists are still a long way from establishing exactly how they communicate. It is unlikely that meaningful conversations could take place between humans and whales. No-See's attempt to talk can certainly be taken as an indication of just how intelligent these mammals are.